Good evening. I'm Brenda LaDonna. Juvenile knocked unconscious after an altercation at Birmingham CityWalk. Tonight, our I-Team's Valerie Bell asking tough questions about supervision, safety, and accountability. The teen's mother is speaking out, sharing her son's story and calling for arrests.
It's heartbreaking that some kids did this, you know. It's even more heartbreaking when you don't know who did it.
Mammy Easley is speaking out after what happened to her 13-year-old son. We are not airing the video. It's graphic, involves minors, and captures a violent encounter at CityWalk. According to Birmingham police, on April 13th around 6:44 p.m., multiple juveniles were involved in a physical altercation.
One of the boys tried to take his Nike ski hat or a ski mask, and my son stood up for himself. Once he got to fighting the young man, a whole crowd rushed him, a gang from my understanding.
BPD confirms the victim, who Easley identifies as her son, a 7th grader she homeschools, was assaulted by multiple unidentified juveniles. BPD also confirms he lost consciousness during the attack and was treated by Birmingham Fire and Rescue before his mother transported him to the hospital.
How's your son doing with all of this?
Physically, he's great. He's healed, you know. Mentally, you know, we working on it. You know, this is my best friend. We talk about everything.
Easley says she told her son he couldn't go to an event at Railroad Park. She had just gotten off work and was asleep when he left the house without her permission, eventually ending up at CityWalk where the attack happened. She says she's addressed his disobedience, but insists nothing justifies the attack.
You gotta show these kids consequences, because when they get in that real world and situations happen, they're gonna be blindsided.
The day after the incident, Mayor Randall Woodfin posted a reminder on social media. He stated that CityWalk is a public space meant for all, but minors must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. It's a rule outlined in CityWalk's posted policies. Woodfin said if children aren't with an adult, they'll be asked to leave. If they don't, police will intervene and parents could be summoned to appear before a judge. Mayor Woodfin wrote, "Let me make it plain. BPD and BJCC are not babysitters. They're not here to raise your kids or teach them home training. Parents, know where your children are at all times and keep them accountable." When we asked what prompted the post, a city spokesperson said the mayor was just issuing a reminder as warmer weather brings out more crowds. Coincidence in timing? Easley agrees that supervision is key.
CityWalk is a nice place now. When I first moved here, I used to take my kids down there all the time. Of course, I would with them. They need that down there. They need supervision.
BJCC Executive Director Tad Snyder maintains CityWalk is safe, but adds this wasn't the first incident. Another incident happened in a previous year since the space opened about 3 years ago.
When you get that many people in a space, fortunately, occasionally there are things that happen. That's why we have such consistent 24-hour covering 10 block security presence.
We previously reported that $600,000 a year is allocated to CityWalk security budget.
If you followed the story about CityWalk funding, the most significant expense, year in, year out, security. That's why.
Snyder says security helped break up the April 13th fight within minutes.
The response from not only our team, but the Birmingham Police Department and Sheriff's Department was quick, swift, effective, and was able to disperse that.
What Easley says she saw in the videos tells a different story.
I seen the video from the beginning to the end. I never seen no police. I seen kids breaking up that fight. And thank God for them. Thank God their parents raised them right, and they had a heart for my son because he was down there really by himself.
The BJCC has not responded to our request for surveillance footage to see how security was handled. Also, Snyder told us around 100 kids were hanging out at 11 p.m. that night, but the incident involving Easley's son happened just before 7 p.m., 4 hours earlier.
Was there security present at the time that was able to break that up? Or what was the security protocol that was followed in that time?
So when we get into kind of the events kind of post that incident, we observe, we monitor, we work with the police department to make sure there's nothing going on behavior-wise that we don't want to see. Obviously, 11 o'clock on a Sunday night when most of those children had school the next day is not something that seems to make a lot of sense. But again, the protocol is we just watch and observe and make sure everyone's behaving.
Easley believes police are taking the case involving her son seriously. She says 4 juveniles have been identified according to case reports she received from BPD.
Moving forward, what would you like to see done?
I want these boys arrested. I ain't even gonna play with nobody.
We asked Birmingham police about the actions being taken. Its response: this is still an ongoing investigation. Chief Pickett has advised that he is personally looking into this incident further. We will provide you with an update soon.
I want to know what's going on. They telling me since they're juveniles, they can't tell me what their punishment is going to be or what their consequence is going to be. But I want to know.
In Birmingham, Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 News.